Hello and welcome to Future Auto Solutions. It is Sunday, April 26th. I'm in New York and I'm with my co-founder, Gordon Todd, who's in Northern Ireland. Gordy, how you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Good morning.
Um, so I'm just trying to get myself organized here as we go live. So apologies for some of that. I had different things going on in my ears, and the joys of going live. So obviously each week Sunday mornings, 8 a.m. in the Eastern time zone in New York, and 1 p.m. in the UK, we go live where we just sort of really discuss what's going on in the marketplace for the
Yeah,
car dealerships, car sales, what are things that we see in the media. So this is what we do on a Sunday. And then on a Wednesday, we release some more product specific, I think is a better way to sort of phrase it, on Future Auto Solutions. So who are Future Auto Solutions? We basically provide a social response to car dealerships. We are trying to enhance the car buying experience for both customer and car dealerships. So let's enjoy the show. So Gordy, how you doing? How's the lockdown in the UK?
yeah, still the same, still the same. Slowly but surely, I think getting eased, hopefully, in the near distant future, but still the same challenges and same positions.
Yeah.
People are getting less and less sort of wanting to get going again now, So um,
Yeah. No.
yeah,
I was. I mean, just to speak Long Island, New York. I was out yesterday walking around, and in the morning there wasn't that many cars, but I saw the cars. Um, Increasing more and more throughout the day.
yeah,
I later went out walking on the bike and so on and so forth. You just seen, but what was more scary for me was actually cycling through a state park with people everywhere, and it
yeah,
was there was more people than cars on the roads. Honestly, it was. But I
yeah,
guess that's to be expected. It was a beautiful day.
yeah.
Everyone wants to be
The
outside.
same here. The weather's been good, so it
Yeah,
encourages people to go outside, So,
yeah.
but
So,
yeah,
as we switch to the industry, car dealerships, car sales, and what we're sort of seeing in the media, social media, what's being communicated, we're kind of seeing a few mixed messages, and I'm just curious to sort of get your thoughts on some of those messages, and maybe things that we can all learn from some of what's being communicated. There's a lot
yeah,
of positive messages coming out.
absolutely.
Dealerships are mentioning that sales have been higher than ever. Now, granted, that's a Ferrari and Maserati dealership, so maybe their
Yeah,
customers have a little more time on their hands to
different
evaluate what they want
marketplace.
to do, and they're probably at home, sticky fingers, trying to work out what it is they need to do. But there
That's
is
it.
that side.
The money's
And then
burning the hole.
I know. And then I see other dealerships who obviously they're open, but they want to, in the abundance of caution, are sending messages through social media on sort of processes and how to approach a dealership.
Yeah,
And while the messaging is understandable, so the messaging basically states, call us ahead of time, book an appointment, go to our website, fill out a application form or
yeah,
a interview form, so that we can arrange and ensure protocols are being met.
yeah,
Totally understand that approach, but then as a customer, how does the customer feel about those things? So
yeah,
curious to know what your sort of thoughts are. Speak a little bit about, okay, what is the approach? What is the mindset of messaging like that? How should the messaging go in your opinion? And then we can dig into the alternatives thereafter. But curious to know what your thoughts are.
yeah. I mean, we're the same over here. We've had a mixed sort of people sending messages. I think businesses are starting to open, especially for the beginning of May. They're definitely gearing up to get going. And as you say, there's mixed messages going out of how they go about making appointments, and dealerships are taking on a different sort of language, maybe, to what sort of you be conventionally used to. Trying to drag people to make an appointment and follow a structured sort of format. I mean, looking at it, and obviously we discussed it before. I feel there could be a more gent. Oh,
Again, playing with my system, so apologies.
yeah, no, you're okay. You're okay. I think you could probably have a more gentle approach to it, with softer language and a more sort of interactive format. Whereas I think a lot of dealerships are trying to force you down that it's like one of them pops up that comes up and says fill out this application or subscription form and someone will get back to you. I think they're trying to go down that way where I think you'll lose a lot of engagement with customer. And maybe if it's a more, interactive, there'll be more of a connection, and then a more of a likelihood of the appointment being followed through, and people feeling that they're sort of going to be, handled. And they, don't get me wrong, people understand that there is a need for this sort of format, but it's just how that is
Yeah.
portrayed and how you get that language across a wee bit better, maybe.
Yeah, just to sort of dovetail into that a little bit, Gordy,
Yeah,
as I sort of think back to when I was buying my car at the start of the year,
yeah,
where when I came across websites where I had to go and pre-fill out all these different forms,
yeah.
I just moved on.
You just,
I
yeah,
just
yeah,
did. And the ones where I really wanted the car, because when you're buying a used car, there only is one car of that
right.
type. There only is
Yeah,
one car with that
absolutely.
mileage, with that color, and you may push through some of those things, but then filling out afterwards, and the customer experience of receiving phone calls, text messages, those
Yeah,
messages continuing long after, as a
yeah,
customer, while the dealership may feel they're doing a service, at times, it's tough. So I would be one of those people who just wouldn't
yeah.
engage.
I mean, if I take away from the motor trade, if I'm buying anything or interested
Yeah,
in anything, I lose interest at that point.
yeah,
Um, so, but I generally feel, I mean, when things do open up again, I think the used car market is going to be the big winner, compared to the new car market, and I think that's where you need to really engage in the customer, because it's only the dealership website that actually advertises that specific car. Manufacturers and have massive money advertising these new models just coming out and TV models, and but when you have a used car physical there, no one else is going to advertise it for your dealership. So I think that's where you really need to be sort of interactive with the customer and engage the customer. Because I mean, as you say, there only is one, and if you really like that car, if your inquiries handled engaging and on a one-to-one basis, the likelihood that you're going to go down to the dealership on a specific time that they tell you is a lot higher,
yeah.
rather than waiting this Damington email back and forward, or waiting 3 hours for next reply and then waiting for another reply, or
Mm.
sometimes it goes into the next day, and at that time it's
Yeah, there's two things there you said that I kind of want to dig into a little
yeah,
bit more.
yeah,
One's a question, just an opinion. We don't know what the
yeah,
answer is, but I'd be curious to know your thoughts. When it does open up, the lights go back on, and the consumers are looking to buy a car, do you think
yeah,
there's going to be a change in mentality towards getting a new car lease? Because a lot of people are buying leases at the moment. They're really restricted in how they can drive them, and the actual value to, let's say, cost to value. So value being how much you put value in it and how much you use it, right? So that's how people often put
yeah.
value to compared to a cost. Do you think that's going to shift to more people buying used car?
I think the main factor when we open up again and when we get there, I mean, there's probably two main factors. I think when people have sort of caught in this sort of close down and financial sort of strain on the economy, they realized how they're locked into a lease deal. I mean, you are
Mm,
locked in. There's no wiggle room. There's no you're in it and that's it. Where a finance normal HP deal, there is that restructuring, there is a change, you can downsize, you can move, there's more flexibility in it. Where at least you're locked in. And I think people probably didn't really understand that as much as before. And now when they've maybe phoned the finance company or looked to get some help, they've went, wow, okay. Um, the other thing is, I think what used cars are going to be the big winner is, when you think about what's being closed, the factories are being closed, the haulage companies are being closed. So availability of cars is going to be really difficult. Lead times are going to be extended, which already were stressed. I mean, you were looking for a new car, it was 3 months, 6 months down the line before you're receiving a new car, and that's going to be even worse now. So I think the here and now, what's sitting on the forecourt, what people, and also people maybe might want to sort of go into that brand new car. They might think they'll be a wee bit more stringent and look at a more efficient sort of choice. So I think maybe the used car really will have, and not talking about used, I mean, I'm talking nearly new, and the
hmm
2019 model, the 2018 model really will get a real injection of business when it opens. I think just also you're going to have the people who have just been itching to get something done. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean? Because that's
yeah,
just going to be the way people have been looking. They've been online. They've been doing all their looking, to and fro, and researching. So, once things get open, I think there is going to be that sort of push of people who were maybe thinking about it beforehand, who have been thinking about it in the middle of it, and then they're all going to be pushed into the marketplace. So, I think,
yeah. Yeah, no, no, it is interesting, and obviously, whenever you look at that used car market and sort of the industry as a whole, the customer experience, more and more
yeah,
people are switching to online buying. So Carvana, Froome, there's many others like it, UK and the US,
yeah,
are able to have their business models set up, ready to run, and may well still be doing business right now. Who knows?
absolutely,
I
yeah.
just don't know. But I
Leasing
have
companies
to,
over here are
yeah,
working, and they're delivering cars and they're operating,
mm,
obviously feeding off pipeline stock, which has already been there, but
right.
they've been working right through, so
Right. But I just wonder if that's going to be a shift in the market or a shift in strategies, and maybe traditional dealerships may be challenged because the more competition with that model. Do you have an opinion on our viewpoint on that?
um I think, I mean, yeah, I mean, but I think they've always been there. So I mean, it's been a market that's been there. Well, I'm speaking obviously in the UK market. I can't speak for the
Yeah.
US. I know it's different online, it's different there, but here the change and shift in the especially in the leasing side of things, the amount of call centers that are running for selling cars rather than a showroom. I mean, one of the biggest leasing company over here is literally a call center, and it's girls answering the phone and answering and replying to emails. So I mean, that's how quickly the shift, and they're doing, 12 to 15,000 units, a month over here. So I mean, it's colossal. So that's how fast the shift, but it doesn't affect the retail market, which is two very different.
Mm,
In the UK now, I'm talking is two different markets. So the UK market for retail is going to have sort of the same sort of footfall, same, but it's just really I'm trying to get away from the what you sort of said to me. I know I understand that, but I help me out here.
okay. No, 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 no. You're fine. No, 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 I get it. I get
I
it.
went
Like
off on a
it's
tangent.
no,
Yeah,
no, no, it's like I get it, I get it, and it's I think it is going to be tough, and I mean, it's simple. I always go back to how did I behave, or how do you behave whenever you go to buy another type of product, right? So be
yeah,
it whatever it is you've bought recently, big purchase item. How did you go about doing that, and how did you actually go to buy selling it? And I leased a car. I wanted to buy a car thereafter, and
yeah,
I went to the traditional dealerships. I looked at the online models, and the online model, I could see so many cars instantly. Pricing, financing, all calculations were provided to me. And I ended up buying a car that was somewhere miles away from me and had it shipped to me.
yeah,
And it's just a different business model. So I've been really curious to see how that shifts. And because people who are buying cars is usually every 3 years that people come around to it. So the next wave of people who are coming up to lease renewal, it'll be interesting to see how they go.
yeah,
And then sort of taking that model and sort of going back to where we kind of started the conversation a little bit. So, the messaging that's going out to the marketplace is if you want to come in, have a phone call, set up an appointment, and then we sort of take the digital format where you basically go and you find and you search out the various cars that
yeah,
you want, right? um, your experience of how you operate is somewhat different again. And I don't want to say it's a hybrid, but it kind of feels like a hybrid if you think about those two contexts, right? A dealership with an online platform and your business
yeah,
model, on what we're sort of a proponent of at Future Auto Solutions. We have a car, we tell people what it is, but more often than not, I mean, the experience we're finding at the moment is people are reaching out to us asking for cars. Do
yeah,
you have
yeah.
this? Do you have that? So how do people bridge those two
Yeah,
business
I mean,
models?
I find what's happened with my business and with my business model is I've fallen into a niche of where when a certain type of person's looking for a car, they're on my social media page or whatever, and they're seeing a range of different cars and different price range, but they're all in the same sort of bracket. And what I'm finding is people are contacting me and saying, look, I seen you had, could you source me one for, and this is my budget and this is where I'm at.
Hmm.
Um, and to be honest with you, you know, that only comes with people leaving feedback, reviews, having a page where it has information and showing you that, you know, that you're dealing with people's situations and they're being dealt with quickly, and they're being handled right, and they're getting the car and they're satisfied with the car, the standards. And then so then when people go on, they're automatically, without knowing me and without knowing, you know, even when people still, when they come to actually see me, they're astounded that I'm in an office. Just, you know, there's they still don't have a perception, even when they're talking to me, and the conversations going back and forward. They still feel they're going to a dealership or going to a used car site, or, you know. So and what is happening is then, you know, people are sharing the information, sharing, saying this is where you need to go for your car, this is the people I got my car off. Just ask them what you want, you know. And then that's why it's changing, you know. Just ask them, he'll get it for you. And I've built a network because I've been in the motor trade in my area and in the country I'm in for sort of coming 20 years. You know, I built a network of people that I know, trusted dealerships or trusted used car sites who know, who deliver and have a car presented right and prepared right. And then so when I'm buying a car, and when I'm taking a car from them to sell to my customer, then, you know, it's coming from a place where, you know, okay, I can put this out and I can show this to the customer, you know, with 100% sort of confidence. And again, that feeds down the line, you know, when the customer gets the car, they're happy, and then they're spreading and spreading. And that's, and I know we always talk about it, but that's the beauty of social media, because,
Hmm.
you know, people are spreading your news without you doing anything. You know, they're telling everybody without you actually doing anything, you know.
And the other side of it is sort of going back again to the first article we
Sorry, my
referenced,
man.
right? No, 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 no. It's no, it's no, no.
Yeah.
I'm going to tie it back into what you just said,
Okay.
right? So rather than sending a message of you want to come and see a car, this is what you have to do, right? You need to fill out this form, you need to contact, make an appointment, you have to turn up at a specific time, maintain physical distance. You're going to have PPE that you're going to have to wear, and follow all these different things. That's
Yeah.
the traditional model. Well, what if you flip that and actually your customer was coming to you, can you get me this car? And then your response is, I have this car, you can come look at it. You're engaged, actually reversing the engagement and also reversing the narrative. So your customer knows that they can come to you, and it's a very different relationship that you're
No,
building.
absolutely. I mean, actually, for talk's sake, it happened to me yesterday. I was sitting in the garden, enjoying the sunshine for a change, and my phone went, and it was someone looking for an automatic, small automatic car. Um, and straight away they were able to give me, within 5 minutes of the conversation, and it's back and forward. They're able to give me their budget, their monthly payment, what size they're looking for, who it was for. It was for them, or for their kids, or who it was for. And I was able then to go away, come back to them with options. And then I would say I was aware that, and then all we needed to do then was to confirm appointment time they were coming to look at. And then I went ahead and told them the safety and the, you know, how we're going
Hmm.
to follow through and the thing. So, you know, it wasn't like a list of, oh my goodness, that's what I have to do before I see a car. You know,
Right.
it's okay, he has a car for me. I'm
Yeah.
ready to do this. Do you know what I mean? And
Yeah. Yeah.
it's a completely different message. It's the same message,
Right.
but it's completely differently put, you know?
Yeah. The customer's emotions are very different, right? You
Absolutely.
whenever you provide a solution, the customer will do whatever it is to finish the solution,
Yeah.
rather than putting
It's
a
a,
barrier.
It's like when I went back to my old sales training, it's leading the conversation rather than being led. You know, when you're
Right.
selling, you're in control of the
Yeah.
sales process rather than being led. And to be honest with you, people do like to be led through a process, you
Right.
know, but they don't like obstacles in front of the process,
Right.
you
No,
know.
no,
So
it's a great way, right?
yeah,
And we always want to be assured we're doing the right thing. But if the customer feels they're in control and they're not being led, then actually it's, even though they want to be and need to be,
yeah,
it's a great way to do it. So
yeah,
obviously, Future Auto Solutions, we use social media to sell cars. We provide services to dealerships, used car dealerships, small, medium, large. And what we're offering at the moment is a free 15-minute audit of your social media. So if this is something that's interesting to you, to your business, or whether you're a new entrepreneur who wants to get into car sales,
Yeah.
Again, reach out to us and we'll put together a 15-minute call. There's no obligation of that 15-minute call, but we'll review your sites. We'll give feedback and allow you to be successful during these times. And again, there'll be an email in below. Connect to
Mhm.
that and let us know. Reach out to us. And obviously, you know, as you watch these videos, do subscribe, do share, do ask questions. You know, we will come
Yeah.
back to you with our responses, because we do believe there is an alternative way that actually is customer driven rather than
Yeah.
actually sales driven. And actually, when customers come looking for you, the actual conversion rates are that much higher because you're solving a problem that they need fixing, rather than you're trying to convince them that they have a problem. So,
Yeah.
all right. So anything else you want to mention
No,
before we
no, I
finish
mean,
up
no,
today?
I think you've captured it all there. I think I went off a few tangents this morning, so I'll leave it alone.
No, I totally understand it. I totally understand it. So obviously, you know, this is an opportunity for every car dealership to restart the system, right? Review your whole process, right? We see all the indicators in the marketplace that customers are switching to digital platforms to purchase cars.
Yeah.
There are alternative ways to sort of bridge that communication, to capture the communication, but actually do it in a way that allows the customer to feel they're in control, they're opting in, rather than feeling it's a barrier and I have to submit forms to actually capture those things through. So if this is something that is interesting to you, do reach out to us, do subscribe to the channel. And yeah, we'll be live here each Sunday morning, 8 a.m. Eastern time in the US and 1 p.m. in the UK time. So
Super.
yes, we will speak to you soon. Gordy, take care.
You too, mate. You too. Take care. Bye bye.